Shalom. We get straight into this lesson. So I'm gonna probably title this lesson, "How Do So-Called God Look According to the Bible?" And this will be a more accurate depiction as people call God. And his true name is Yahweh. So I'm gonna get into this lesson. So this is what you've been given through the Edomites' witchcraft, with the sorcery and the propaganda, with the the images that you see today. Now, Michelangelo, Edomite drew this. This supposed to be so-called God in the creation of Adam. And you see what it is. It's a homosexual act. And you devils gonna pay for this, man. You know what I'm saying? Betraying the Most High like this. First off, the first offense is just portraying him as a so-called white man, right? So this is who painted this picture, Michelangelo. That's how you got the movie Ninja Turtles. The characters was named after these four prominent Renaissance painters. There was more painters, but these was the ones: Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, what was that, Donatello, and Raphael. So Michelangelo was one of these premier painters that painted this blasphemy. Let's go back to it. Look at that. And I can't even show you this image to the left, you know what I'm saying, as they got portrayed as so-called Adam, because he's a nudity, perverse. That's no one more perverse than the Edomites. Sadistic, sick. And you see this imagery right here. It's real disturbing. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this lesson. Let's go to how the Most High look according to the Bible, not according to the so-called white man artist and his witchcraft. So let's start here. I'm going to go to Daniel. Give me 1 second. So like I already had it queued up. So this is Daniel 7, Salakia, 9 through 14. So, Salakia. Daniel, let's go to it real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me just pull it up in the scripts. Right, it's the book of Daniel 7 and 9. It says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. So the Most High Yahweh, as you call God, he had a spiritual body that Daniel saw, whose garment was white as snow. So he had a garment on, and whose hair was like, it says, and the hair on his head was like the pure wool. We're gonna go to this wool definition. His throne like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. So it's giving you a depiction as you people call God, but his true name is Yahweh. But he had woolly hair. Let's go here. Let's go to this definition wool. That's why they took this definition out. So when you go to the definition wool, let me go back a little bit further. Salaki, that's another lesson. Give me 1 second. Right, so when you go to the Winston Simplified Dictionary, 1919 edition, it says of Negro hair, but I'm gonna use Wikipedia. It says woolly hair. Remember, the Most High hair is like the pure wool. It says woolly hair is a difficult to brush hair, usually present since birth and typically most severe in childhood. It has extreme curls and kinks. Occurs in so-called black people. There you go. And distinct from kinky hair. So yeah, this is so-called black people hair. Right? So even when you go here to the AI overview, the term Negro hair can refer to Afro texture hair. You know what I'm saying? Which is often described as woolly due to its tightly curled, coarse, and dense nature. Right? So there you go. And they try to put all this other stuff, this other madness here. But you get what I'm saying. You should get it. If not, I don't know what to tell you. So when you go back to Daniel, remember, we're going to go to the who is this talking about? We're going to prove that this talking about, as you know, is God. It says Daniel 7 and 9, and I beheld to the throne and cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. So he was sitting down on the throne. Let's go to this right here. Just break down where this came from. It says Ancient of Days. What is this talking about? Who is this talking about? It says the Ancient of Days is a symbolic representation of God the Father, Yahweh. It says distinguished by his white clothing and hair like pure wool, seated on a fiery throne. There you go. So this talking about is, is God. So he has a description. He's not invisible. He's not, this right here, which you've been shown in these devil's artwork. This is modern day witchcraft, but it was created by a man right here. You know what I'm saying? This who created it. So we're giving you the origin. We're not just telling you things without proving them. So let's keep elaborating on this. Let's go to Revelation, because it's gonna further explain how the Most High look even more. Revelation 4:3. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper. Matter of fact, let's go here. Salakia, give me 1 second. Right, so I'm gonna get into this AI overview. Salakia. It says Revelations 2-3 describes God's throne in heaven. So you can know I ain't making nothing up. So I'm gonna go back into that Revelation 4:3. I'm gonna start at 2. Revelation 4:2. And immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. Like the same thing that happened in Daniel chapter 7. Yahweh was sitting on the throne. Let's go to 4:3. It says, and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and sardine stone. So he had a color to him. And there was a rainbow round about the throne, in the sight like unto emerald. So let's go into this emerald stone, Salaki, this jasper and sardine stone. Well, I got it pulled up at. We're going to see what this is talking about right here. So this is jasper and sardius, or sardine stone, so-called black man. That's obvious, you know what I'm saying? Brown flesh. Let's go here. This even got the precept there, Revelation 4 and 2. I think they started at 2. Well, let me start at 3. And he who sat there was like a jasper and a sardius stone in appearance. In appearance. So that's how he looked. Remember, he had woolly hair. There's and when you go look up the word war, it goes back to so-called black people. And when you look up this jasper and sardine or sardius stone, is that brown complexion, proving that that Salakia, the Messiah and the Father was so-called black men in the spiritual body. All right. Hopefully you can understand that. So let's go back. So this will be a more accurate depiction, as people call God, right here. And you best believe Yahweh was very terrifying to look upon. He's to be straight feared. Even the angels stand trembling before Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. This image right here don't even do us justice, because it's more spectacular than we can put into words, you know what I'm saying? But this will be a more accurate depiction, as people call God. And I gave you the description in the Bible, because you Christians will say God is invisible, or you go to this imagery right here. This is default imagery when you go to Google. This cunningly devised fable, right? So this is what's in people's minds when they think about so-called God, and God is not even the Most High name. So let's go here. But the Bible told us these devils would do this. They would paint the images and to look like so-called white people, to put the witchcraft on the people's minds. First Maccabees 3:48. It says, and laid open the book of the law. It says, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. And during the Maccabean period, who was in control of the Greeks, which were Edomites, and they had all this different idols that they erected in Jerusalem, or Jerusalem. And there was a lot of people had conform to that way. Let's go here. Right? So this is the book of Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who is the wicked? Going to the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. The so-called white man, Edom. And they do stuff like this. They painted this. They actually went out of their way to paint this and promote this and to push this to you, this great witchcraft, to say this is so-called God. But this ain't the depiction in the Bible. It says he covered the faces of the judges thereof. So this ain't talking about the judge that you know of in traffic court with the black robe on. It's talking about Yahweh Shai, the angels. How did he cover the faces? He painted this. He painted his images, right? And this guy here did it. Then you got these other Renaissance painters that painted other images. Like the Last Supper that was painted by Leonardo da Vinci, so-called white man, the devil. So let's go here, Salakia. 1 second. All right, let me play this. I don't know if this is going to play or not. Let me see.
Simplified Dictionary, 1919 edition. It says, the soft, fine, curly hair which covers sheep, goats, etc. Thick, crispy, curly hair as of a Negro. This is the definition of woolly in a 1919 dictionary. Okay? Black people just came out of slavery not too long ago.
1 second. IUIC clip. They completely bugged out, but I was just using that clip to make a point. Because IUIC they don't got the truth. It's starting at the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. That's what the Lord set up. And then, branched out from there. IUIC ain't got the truth. They got, they completely out of their mind. But I was just using that to make a point. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't got no affiliation with IUIC. They are madmen, you know what I'm saying? And they teach false doctrine. The authority been set up through the Great Millstone as the, apostles and elders and down that chain of command. Just wanted to clarify that because I don't want no confusion among the brethren. But look, this devil painted this and gave you this as so-called God. And that's the witchcraft that's on the people's minds. And, the people don't know better. The people is in the gross darkness, because, they don't know anything. Ignorance is rapid among these Babylonians. Matter of fact, let me give one more scripture before I close it out. It's one of my favorite precepts. Let me put it Isaiah 16:2. Isaiah 16:2. It's like you keep putting something else up. It says Isaiah 16:2. It says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. It says, in gross darkness, the people. So the people, when you look at the word darkness in its context, it means ignorance. So these people in a dumbed down state of mind concerning biblical themes, so, and, concerning this real history, they have no clue what's going on. The only history that they can fathom or understand is what they've been taught in the school system, which is nothing but a lie. Right? It says, and the Lord Yahweh will arise upon you, and his glory will appear over you. I was reading this version here. Let me see what version this is. I think that's the NIV, if I'm not mistaken. But hopefully this lesson was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak, Kodash, Shalom.